The piece I chose to write about was Folded Hat by Roy Lichtenstein. This piece connected with me because it gave me a sense of nostalgia. When I was a little kid, one of the book series that helped me get into reading was the Origami Yoda series by Tom Engelberger. I remember going to the after-school program and flipping all the way to the back to see the instructions for whichever Origami Star Wars characters were featured in this book, so that me and my friends could make them. I want to explore how this was possible. How did the art of folding paper start, and how did it spread all over the world to eventually make it to me? Paper. You can't make origami without paper. For that we can thank the Chinese court official, Kailin, for its invention. From China, paper made its way all over the world, proving to be one of the most useful inventions in human history. In particular, paper made its way first to Korea, then to Japan. From there, paper makers in Japan helped change and improve the design of paper, making it easier to fold. This allowed for the start of origami. No one knows exactly when the art of origami was invented, but it's likely that it became popular in the 16th century, as this is when texts start mentioning the art. An interesting fact about origami is that it was mainly used in ceremonies or in religious contexts in both China and Japan. It wasn't until the 1600s that origami became an art for hobbyists to enjoy. One of the oldest documents we have mentioning origami is a short poem titled Rose ga Yume no Chou wa Orisue by Ihara Seikaku, written in 1680, which makes reference to origami butterflies. Another interesting fact is that origami was originally known as orikata or origata, and it was normal to cut the paper instead of being constricted to just folding it. Orikata typically depicted nature. Things like trees, flowers, and birds were particularly popular to depict through orikata. Although the oldest records we have of folding paper as an art come from Japan, origami isn't only a Japanese creation. In the 1800s, Friedrich Vogel, the creator of the kindergarten, helped popularize origami in Germany and other parts of Europe by implementing it into his teachings. Along with Vogel, a Spanish author and philosopher named Miguel de Unamuno helped spread origami's popularity in Spain. It's believed that European folding techniques made their way back to Japan at some point in the 1800s. Also around this time is when Japan switched from using the word orikata to using the word origami instead. Finally, we work our way to America. Origami didn't become popular in the States until after World War II. In the 1950s, a woman by the name of Lillian Oppenheimer was a big proponent in increasing origami's popularity in the United States. For example, she is credited as one of the main people who introduced the word origami to the States, and she founded the Origami Center of America in 1958. Along with this, she was known for using her origami creations to tell stories in the Storytelling Center of New York. Her biggest contribution to the spread and popularization of origami in America has to be her informing the public of origami through TV. By broadcasting origami on the TV, she allowed the art form to access a whole range of people that it would not have reached otherwise. I remember seeing that book for the first time. It was a relatively short book titled The Strange Case of Origami Yoda, and it was sitting on a small bookshelf in the teacher's class. I remember she let me choose a book to read one time after I had finished a test. As it had already caught my eye, I chose that book, and from there, I fell in love. Later, when I got the first book for myself, I remember being so excited seeing the instructions for the origami on the back of the book. I knew I had to bring it to school to show my friends so that we could try making the characters together. Every time I finished a book, I would ask my mom if we could go to Barnes & Noble so I could find the next book in the series, finish it, and make another origami character with my friends. It's crazy to think that an art form created in a land so distant from my own has helped shape one of the fondest memories I have of my childhood. My name is Bryce Gordon. I'm an undergraduate information science major at the University of North Florida. Folded hat initially caught my eye because of the subject. A folded paper hat with primary colored patterns instantly made me think of the arts and crafts I would do when I was a child. From there, I made a connection between this piece and the Origami Yoda series that used to bring me so much joy as a kid. I also wanted to know more about how the art of origami spread from Japan to the rest of the world. I was pleasantly surprised with the interesting journey my research took me on.